Whenever there is a new year, we all have goals, we all have plans, we all have dreams. But a few weeks later, one might wonder what happened to all those plans, to all those dreams that we had. One might even say, well, Tarindu, life happens and we get about with our normal routines and the normal challenges, and that quest we had to be the better version of ourselves, maybe the best version of ourselves, well, that quest kind of gets diminished along the way. But what if there were some life hacks that you, as an entrepreneur, maybe as a professional, as an executive, a business leader, that you could adopt to yourself and you could bring out the better, the best version of yourself? Well, that would be something truly life-changing, isn't it? Today in Bisnomics, in your weekend's most profitable 60 minutes, we will talk about how we can maintain a higher level of energy, how we can bring out that peak performance and be the best version of ourselves. And joining me for this discussion is an expert in this field of peak performance, who is none other than Shuvo Hridayesh. Shuvo, welcome to Bisnomics. It's an absolute pleasure to have you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me.
Shuvo, I want to ask you about this very famous concept that we always hear about, putting more effort into maintaining energy. Sounds a bit of a, I would say, tricky thing for me, because we have to maintain a positive energy, a good energy, but to do that we also have to put in a lot of effort, because a lot of people will always say, as the day goes along, as the month gets going, or maybe half of the year has passed and we have lost the energy we had, the energy we had on the 1st of January or on the 14th of April, that energy is all gone. But I'm asking you, why do we need to put effort in order to keep our energy levels very high?
After that interesting introduction, with a high energy, just imagine if I would have spoken to you in this interview just like that, what would have happened? Right? Very low energy, but you have such a good energy with you, right? So that if I don't match that energy, obviously this is not going to give the result.
For sure.
So energy is very important, and there are ways and means to take care of the energy and maintain that energy whenever we can, and it can be done within a snap.
Just like a snap, like just like that.
Yes, it is possible. Let me share with you a formula, right? So it's called thought plus emotion plus the language we speak plus the action we take is equal to your outcome.
Let me get this right. My thoughts,
yes,
my emotion, the language I speak, and
the
action I take,
yes,
will equal to,
yes,
the outcome. So what, yes, you're saying is, if someone who is watching the show is not getting the outcome that they want from their life,
yes,
that means there's something in that equation they have missed out.
Exactly, exactly. Now what we do is, at this current situation, right, what we are doing is we're thinking, oh, something is very uncertain at the moment. We can look at it and focus about it, right? But then again, we can look at it in a different way. So we have the thought of making a difference. So if we have that positive thought, which is, the emotion is very important. The emotion has to be positive as well, right? And then when you combine it together with a positive language, let's say, okay, I can do it, it is possible, right? And plus, the last part is very important. You can have the positive thought, the emotion, and the language, but if you don't take the last bit, the positive action, obviously you will not see the positive outcome that you're expecting.
What if I say that people are not taking enough action? Let's say there might be an executive who knows what he has to do, and he knows that if he does this, he can get the promotion, he can hit his sales targets, all that. But he's emotionally not having that energy.
Right.
What is your message to a person like that?
First of all, we have to understand, okay, everybody has a different belief system, right? So we are coming from our past, mainly. So just, okay, let me ask you, Tarindu. Let's say if I'm driving, I'm driving a car. What's your favorite car?
Well, I'm, okay, let's say an electric car, hybrid car.
Okay, hybrid car, okay. Let's say Tesla, right?
Okay.
So you're driving a Tesla, and you're going full speed, but you're looking at your rear view mirror and driving.
Okay.
What's going to happen?
Well, I will crash because I'm looking at my past.
So it doesn't matter whatever energy you have, if you don't have energy or have energy, doesn't make any difference.
I like that example.
So So when you look at, so when we are driving the car, it has to be looking at the front. What is your focus, which is very important. So now the person you're talking about, if he's not motivated, we have to understand that what is the outcome is driving him, right? So that outcome, it has to be more inspiring, purposeful. So then they'll have to, what is the why behind it, why they're doing that. Then come the how. So how is on the last bit, right? So it's not that you just give, okay, this is your target, do it. No. You have to give them the outcome first, then the why, then the how.
Very interesting.
So when you combine these three together, no matter what, any kind of result you want, it is possible.
So what you're saying is that there might be someone who has actually, if he is not having that energy, probably he has maybe forgotten the why he has started. And maybe I think this is a very good lesson for a business leader. If you are telling somebody to do something, tell him why he should do that. Why, maybe from a company perspective, why from his own personal growth perspective.
Yeah.
I think that's a very strong footing that you're setting for the discussion, Shuvo. Let's talk about stress. Now, we see so many people who face a lot of stress on a very regular basis. And at the same time, there are people who face a lot of challenges, but they don't talk about stress and depression. They are able to handle it. And I recently read somewhere the fact that challenges and problems are inevitable, but stress and depression is actually a choice.
Yes.
Now, I would like to ask you, somebody who is watching this show, who is loaded or maybe buried under a mountain of challenges and problems,
Right.
how can that person avoid stress and depression?
First of all, he has to commit that he wants to avoid it, right? Obviously, now, stress and depression, okay, if you look at a table, left-hand side is the effect and right-hand side is the cause, right? So this is, so what happens is that the stress and depression is the cause, right? So we are seeing the cause, right? Because of this effect, so this has happened, right? So if you look onto the left-hand side, now the person who's having stress or depression, the reason behind it is fear of failure, not being able to perform, not being able to deliver. So that takes over. Now in life, you can achieve goal in two ways, either inspiration or desperation. Now inspiration is very straightforward. I'm inspired, I'm going to get
This is what I want, I'm going to go for it.
I'm going for it, yes. But when it comes to desperation, desperation also works, as long as that fear of failure doesn't stop you from performing. So you utilize that fear of failure in a positive way so that you can achieve that outcome. So as long as you focus on the outcome, it is definitely possible. You will have that outcome without stress, without any depression.
Sure. Now, because these words like stress, words like depression, I mean, it is definitely something beyond even an argument, the fact that Sri Lankan executives, business leaders, they are facing so much of stress. And in fact, now given the current pandemic situation, we are working at home. When we come to office, we are working at the office. And in fact, a lot of people are overworked, and we see so many instances even globally in some of the top banks where we hear stories where the CEO has walked in and has just fainted and collapsed because the person has been thoroughly overworked. So this is a common problem we have.
Yes.
But I want to delve into this a little bit more.
Yes.
Now, let's say if I am having too much of work and I am feeling thoroughly stressed, what can I do to control my emotions better, my energy better, and to keep things under control? What should I do?
Okay. What you can, so coming back to that conversation, so you got to find out what's your belief is, right? What's your belief system is, right? So when you look at the belief system, then what is working and what is not working. Now, a way a belief is formed is by listening to your surrounding, right? So let's say somebody says, "Oh, you look beautiful," right? Or you sing very well. So how do they know that we sing well? People supporting him or her to, so they sing very well. So by listening to it, they started believing that they can sing well. Similarly, when you're overworked, right? So then the language you're speaking,
The
right?
inner language, the language
right?
with which I speak to myself.
Exactly. So there is a concept called triad, right? Let me share with you this. So in triad, in the bottom is the physiology, and on the left hand side is the focus, and the right hand side is the language. So the moment you can take care of your physiology, let's say you think, okay, I'm overworked and then there's so much of things to focus on, right? Simply drop everything. Get up, move about.
Okay.
Physiology, I'm talking about the physiology.
For sure.
The
yes.
moment you do that, you will see there's a total shift in energy. Am I correct?
For sure.
Like sitting here talking to you is a different energy. When we stand up, it will be a different energy.
Sometimes when we have a problem, just by standing and walking a bit, we feel better.
Exactly. So when you do that, then what happens is your focus also shifts. Focus also shifts, and then not only focus, what language you're telling yourself, it is very important. I'm talking about self-love, like not selfish love, self-love.
So
right?
not to bash yourself for maybe some of the mistakes you've
Yes.
done, but to see maybe what good things you have achieved. All the, like, we all the time we look at the past failures and mistakes,
Yes.
not the past successes, not the
Yes.
good things we have achieved,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
And I guess what you're saying is, if you draw the emotions, if you draw the energy, if you draw your motivation from the past failures, you'll always be depressed and demotivated.
Exactly.
You draw it from your past successes.
Yes.
I believe in that case you will always have that energy. I think
Yes.
some good points, Shuvo. What about if I'm managing a team? Now, managing myself is a separate matter. But if I'm managing a team, I believe my energy levels will also influence the quality of the teamwork. Am I right?
Yes, for sure. It has a direct impact. Yes, definitely.
So how can I make sure that I give that right positive energy to the team and bring out the best in my team, Shuvo?
Okay, so let me give you three. There is a three-pointer. So
I like how you have structured a lot of things.
So something called I'll give you backwards from right to left, right? So it's called state, story, and strategy.
Okay.
So as a business owner, what do? Entrepreneurs, first of all, we try to figure out the strategy. You have the best strategy in the whole wide world, but every strategy will come with a story. Maybe what if it doesn't happen? What if that happened? So there is already a limiting belief.
The doubts.
Yeah, the doubts. So it will come. So as an entrepreneur, we're supposed to remove that story and story or make it a positive story so that the strategy works positively. And the last one which is the first one, is state. So when you're making a decision, which state you're in, it is very important. Are you in a low energy state, or you're in a very negative state? Let's say a simple example, maybe you had some worrying happening at home, and you carried it with you to your workplace, and you're going into a meeting, sitting and then thinking with your team. I'm sure that state will impact the meeting.
For sure.
Yeah. So what happens is that before you go into the strategy, you have to bring your state, the energy up, so that you can have that impact.
So I'm going to interrupt you there. As a business leader, let's say a business leader who is watching this show right now.
Yes.
Let's say on Monday he has a business meeting.
Yes.
Before he goes for the business meeting, what can he do to bring up a very strong state in him so that his team members will also be influenced and bring out the best in them? What can he do to bring that strong state?
Got it. So the easiest thing immediately a person can do is, okay, before that I would like to say this, we go to gym, right, to build our muscle.
Correct.
Right? But there is something called mental gym.
The mind gym.
The mind gym. When is the last time we have gone to the mental gym?
Probably many of us would not have gone for a long time.
So the success, the distance between you and your success, or we and our success, is between the ears.
The inside,
yes.
the mind.
So I'm sure each and every entrepreneurs, they know it. I'm not questioning the intelligent. We have a very intelligent audience, but I'm talking about the basic. Sometimes we are not brilliant in basic. When you are brilliant in basic, anything is possible. So that entrepreneur, what they can do is, if you like to work out in the morning, go and do the workout.
Yeah.
Because when you do the workout, it increases your dopamine.
Correct.
And that puts you in a positive state.
Absolutely.
Always when you go, like it happens to me, when I finish my run in the morning, by the time I finish it, I'm totally in a different state.
Correct. You're motivated, you're ready to perform.
Like, give it to me, I'll make it happen.
We are going to talk about this more, Shuvo, on the other side of the break. Stay tuned. We will be back after this short break. This is Bisnomics. Welcome back to Bisnomics, your weekend's most profitable 60 minutes. And our focus today is on how we can bring out the best version of ourselves, how we can face the workday with more energy and bring out that peak performance. And joining me for this discussion is a specialist on that exact topic, who is none other than Shuvo Hridayesh. Shuvo, now we were talking before the break about the need to go about, to move, and I really want to stress on this because we hear so many people talking about being motivated, but they really don't say how. Right. They talk about the importance, because I'm a person who believes just because you read a book, just because you watched a few YouTube videos, people don't necessarily get motivated. Right. And if you take videos, for example, sometimes people will start watching one motivational video and they will go on for about 30 videos. End of it, they've watched 30 videos, but nothing has happened, which I don't think is a sign of a motivated person, because a motivated person goes about and gets things done, not watch another 29 videos. Right. Now, my question to you is, you were talking about this need to move about. Yes. How does motion, moving about, really add more energy to myself? Because, and are you saying that even if I'm just working on a normal work day, if I need more energy, if I need more motivation, I should just get up and play some music and dance? Is that what you are saying?
Okay. If it's required, do it. But then again, so add to that what as I was mentioning before, that so when you work out, you ooze out dopamine, and that will help you to, keep your energy up, right? So going to gym, going yoga, so those things will definitely help you physically, right? Now, to the point, there are other way of motivating yourself. I love the way what you mentioned about that. You see 29 videos, but a person who's motivated, they don't take any action. So what is missing in that equation is the action part of it. So the person really can make a difference when they have that part in their equation. And definitely that will happen. But the thing is that when it comes to taking action, okay, let me ask you this. Losing weight, right? Go and Google how to lose weight. Then what happens? 10,000, 100,000, almost so many types of results will come in, right?
Let me share with you an interesting result I recently read.
Okay.
I do search about it. I'm quite sure you figured out I must be searching. Anybody from the audience who sees me also probably thinks, well, that guy must be at least doing some research about losing weight.
Right.
I searched about and I came across a very interesting suggestion. Okay. One suggestion said, stop Googling, start running or start jogging, which I think is very true.
Right. So add to that, actually didn't mention about you all that, but add to that what I was going to say is that, so we have so much of millions of ways of losing weight, but still there are overweight people around us.
Obesity is an actual problem.
Simple reason behind. So Sri Lanka is blessed, trust me, compared to other countries, Sri Lanka is blessed. But the simple reason behind, the momentum, to have that energy to go and actually do the run.
Correct.
So it doesn't happen. So there are other ways also, right? Rather than, okay, if you don't want to run. So there is something called priming, right? So priming, which I have learned from one of this world-class trainer. So what he has shown is that every morning when you get up, before anything, before looking at your WhatsApp messages,
correct,
what you do is you sit in a place and then close your eyes and think about 3 things from your past which has helped you to change your life. Then think about in a very positive light which is going through you, right? And then think about 3 things which you want to achieve in the future. So when you do that process, by the time you finish, it's 10 minutes it takes maximum, you're in a different state of mind.
And sure, some people might think 10 minutes is a long time, but if you don't have 10 minutes to invest in your own self, you really don't have a life.
Exactly. So true. So if you invest that 10 minutes, then I'm sure you will be able to start your day in a different level. That's what I've learned from one of the world-class trainer, Tony Robbins. So, and I do practice in and out every day. Today morning also
and you have experienced results on this.
Yes.
And you've probably seen a lot of your clients also whom you coach who has achieved these amazing results.
Definitely. In fact, in my office, when we do my team, sometime in the afternoon time, we see there is a low energy. So we get up and we drop everything and then go and do physical movement or sometimes we put in music and we dance as well.
Oh,
so that put in a different state of mind. Now, sometimes being an entrepreneur is like, oh, How can I dance with my team? So you have to build that rapport with the team. So that will help you to build that culture of performance.
So what you're saying is that a business owner should also be like more like a source of energy, like an energy magnet.
Yes.
You know,
so he's the orchestra, or he's the orchestra, right? So he has his orchestra, everybody in the team. So he will definitely motivate, and in a different level, he'll be able to help the team to achieve the goal at the end of the day.
Understood. Now, what are the other rituals that you would suggest to maintain that high level of energy? Now, you said about priming.
Yes.
Any other rituals that one could have, especially when they are facing a difficult time? Because sure, in any corporate world, right, I think a lot of executives, business leaders would say this. Let's say you do all this priming and you come in a very motivated state to the office. But in the office, there are people whom we call sometimes energy vampires. They'll just suck all the energy out of you.
Right.
They'll try to make your life miserable, knowingly or unknowingly. These
Right.
are very common problems that
Yes.
people face in many offices. I'm sure you've seen
Yes.
and you've experienced
I
such
have.
individuals. So in the face of all these people who are maybe trying to ridicule you, put you down, suck out all the energy out of you,
Right.
how do you still maintain that energy? Well, I'm asking very practical questions.
I understand.
Well, a lot of people say, okay, I read books, I got motivated, but when I try to do it, there is somebody who is sucking out all the energy out of me.
Right.
So
right.
how do you still meet that challenge?
So that brings up the conversation of emotional fitness, right? So I'm not talking about emotional intelligence here, emotional fitness. So now the person, how emotionally they are not only motivated, but they are charged up to make things happen. Now that will come from the outcome they want. As a team, you will definitely have an outcome at the end of the year or end of the quarter. So how inspiring that outcome is. So then when you focus on that, right? So no matter what, and then you have your story right, that okay, it is possible, this is the way we're going to do it. And then again, you bring your state right, all three tallies. So then you will see that no matter what, if there is somebody sucking the energy out, go and find out. Go and talk to them, sit down and talk to them why it is like this. So what's happening is that all this low state, low energy, it's a pattern we are running. Everybody's running a pattern. Now, let me ask you.
And if you get used to a pattern of having low energy, then you'll continue
It'll do that. Let's prove it right now. Let's say, tell me, other side of the road, or other side of the room, right? There is a person who's having having a very sad state. How would his physiology be?
Crumble more to himself.
How would he breathe? Heavy or light?
He's probably maybe a subjective thing, but
Yeah.
maybe a little on a lighter tone and
Right.
not very energetic.
Right. So you see, so now other side of the window or the room, there is somebody who's in a very happy state.
Yeah,
So how he would
he's breathing
physiology-
fast. He's pumped up. He's very expansive, expressive.
Right. So the reason I'm asked you is that, so you see that the person who's sad, he also knows that how to physiologically get into that mode, and for a person who's happy, how to get into a happy mode.
Correct.
So at the end of the day, who has a choice?
We have a choice.
We have a choice. So yeah, but it's easier said than
Than
done.
done.
Yes.
Like you said, than
So
done.
that's why when you see somebody in your office that who's having a low energy, talk to them, find out what happened, or do something different, or talk to them in a way that which you've never spoken. I'm not saying go and shout at them. I'm not saying that, but engage with that person in a way that interrupts the pattern.
What you're saying is, in an organization, or maybe in our own selves, if we are having a pattern of being low in motivation,
Yes.
break that pattern.
Yes, break that pattern. It can be simple as getting up and moving about. You see somebody looking, okay, hey, let's say hypothetically speaking, somebody's name is Saiful. Like, hey, you saw him, said, hey, Saiful, why are you in a low state?
Yeah.
Why are you like this? Just go, because he himself doesn't know
Correct.
that he's in a low energy state.
Correct.
Then we're like, oh, okay, maybe in a different way I can approach.
Understood.
So in that way, that's one of the ways you can interrupt the pattern, and that will help that person to internally understand that, okay, I should not be approaching in this way.
Good point, Shuvo. We'll talk on that more after the break. Stay tuned. We will be back after the short break. This is Bisnomics. meeting the challenges of your daily work schedule with more energy. That is the focus today on Bisnomics. And we are in discussion with Shuvo Hridayesh, who is an expert in bringing out the peak performance in us. Shuvo, we spoke about people, we spoke about teams, but let's talk from an organizational perspective. I believe that it's high time, given the work stress and the work pressure we face. Sri Lanka is ranked as a very high stressed country. I think we are among the top 10 in the world by many rankings. If organizational leaders are to tackle this workplace stress at an organizational level, I believe that emotional well-being within the organization itself has to be there as a policy. In your view, how can organizations make emotional well-being a top priority in the organization?
Okay. So being from Bangladesh, living in Sri Lanka for 16 years, I believe Sri Lanka is not on top 10, okay? Because that has been my experience with Sri Lankans, right? So I love this country. So, and the people here, because when it comes to relaxing, nobody does good job like Sri Lankans, okay? But then
we chill well. We chill well.
Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt about it. So I actually learned a lot. So then, so coming back to your question, yeah, organization stress. When an entrepreneur is managing a team, obviously there will be stress among the team members, and then within the organization. But they can take simple two steps, which will definitely help them to make their impact on emotionally managing the organization. One is, first of all, the leader himself had to manage their inner state and have to manage their emotional fitness. They have to believe in that, first of all, because what leaders believe in, that will trickle down to the organization.
Correct.
And second
and
of all,
if my subordinates see me maintaining a high energy, they will also maintain that.
Definitely. And it is given. It is given, because what you see is what you learn, and that's what you do at the end of the day. That's a human behavior.
Correct.
Right? So if when I see
a lot of subordinates model what they see in their team leader or their supervisor.
Exactly.
Valid thoughts.
Exactly. So that's one part of it. Of course, now leaders must be thinking, yeah, it is very easy for you to say, but I have to do so many things, manage my family and everything, then manage my team also. But ask yourself, my reply to that is, ask yourself that as a leader, what is my current state, and where I want to bring what is my desired state, where I want to bring my team members to, or my team to. When you ask that question, right, then you will definitely have that answer. And no matter what is it, being an entrepreneur is like a gladiator. Every morning when you get up, it's like you don't know whether it's going to winning day or a losing day.
Correct.
A gladiator also does the same thing. When he goes to that spot, he doesn't know whether he's going to win or lose.
Correct.
Right? But then anyhow he goes for it.
Correct.
So I acknowledge each and every entrepreneur. So when they're getting that habit, managing their state, managing their story, that will impact their strategy.
So what you're saying is, if I am to make sure that my employees are emotionally in a good state,
yes.
First of all, it starts with me.
Yes.
I need to have that in me, number one. And number two, are you saying that I need to train my immediate level of leaders on that as well?
That's the number two.
Okay.
Number two. Now, we go to gym to build our muscle.
Correct.
Right? So, and we go for a run, we do that. Again, I'm asking the question, when was the last time we have gone to an emotional gym or a mental to make your mentality more stronger?
So from a corporate perspective, we send our managers to learn about marketing, we send out about strategy, all that. That is skill.
Yes,
but,
exactly.
But that is skill. But when did we send our team leaders to improve their emotional well-being?
Exactly. So I was talking to this gentleman from one of the corporates. He's the head of supply chain of one of the multinational here. So he was saying that, he said a very interesting thing. He said that focus on your self-development. Your career development will be taken care of automatically. I thought it was profound. So when you focus on your self-development, it will automatically take care of your career. Because when you develop as a person, when you manage your state with a high energy,
you definitely manage your career well, you perform well, yes.
Exactly.
Because we are bringing out the best in ourselves.
Exactly. So the two things, the organization leaders has to adopt it.
Correct.
And second thing is, send the team members for a training, world-class training.
Sure. Now, as a team leader, or let's say as someone who is running an organization, or let's say as a manager, how can I make sure that I have more empathy towards my team, and how can I also, through that, how can I build a stronger purpose into my team?
Got it. Okay.
So
So
this is a question a lot of business leaders have. They're like, no, I believe in it, but my team is not believing in it. Or I am energetic, I am passionate, but my team is not even half as passionate about this as I am.
got it.
So this is a very common problem that a lot of business leaders are actually facing. What is your answer to them?
Okay. My question to you, why they are facing? They have to ask themselves, first of all, why they are facing that. Because at the end of the day, whatever action we take as a leader, it has an impact. At the end of the so one of the ways it can be looked into is that, as I mentioned about priming earlier, right? So there's one part of the priming is called attitude of gratitude, right?
Being thankful for what we have.
Exactly. Some of the entrepreneurs are doing it,
Yeah.
right?
But a lot of entrepreneurs or people are actually looking at the problems they have.
Yes.
If you are stuck in a traffic, first thing that comes to our mind is not all the blessings we have in
Yes.
life, but all the problems we have in life.
Exactly. You must be sitting in a Mercedes but thinking of the problem. So that doesn't, the mindset doesn't work, basically.
Correct.
You must be having $1 billion in your account, but you're worried about pay the bill at the end of the month. So that mindset doesn't work. So there are ways to change the mindset and create that empathy, right? So if you're okay with it, maybe I can take the audience through the
sure.
whole
Why not? Can take a few
process.
minutes, yes.
Okay. So there is something called attitude of gratitude, which is a part of the priming. That's what I was mentioning. So what you have to do is probably I'll just take the first bit of it. So so you have to close your eyes.
You want me to do this as
Yes,
well?
yes, please,
Okay.
please join.
Right.
And the audience, if you'd like to join, please go ahead and do that. It might feel a bit weird, but then again, you learn the best when you're in uncomfortable zone, right?
Sure.
Okay, so put your hand on your heart. If you cannot find your heart, the heart is here. Okay, some of us, we don't know where the heart is. Okay, so close your eyes and thank yourself for being here. Say thank you.
Thank you.
Now, some of you are thinking, why should I thank myself? My question to you, when was the last time you thanked yourself? When something doesn't go your way, you tend to beat yourself up because you have a high standard. But when was the last time you thanked yourself for being so awesome? I want you to thank yourself for that. Say thank you. I want you to thank your eyes for it helps you to make things visible in your world. I want you to thank your hands because it makes things happen for you. I want you to thank your legs because these legs takes you from places to places. I want you to thank your heart because it beats 100,000 times a day without any condition. It's a gift from God. Thank yourself for that. Thank your family member for being there. Thank your spouse, thank your kids, thank your parents. And feel the feeling of gratefulness right now. And feel the feeling of joy right now. You might be going through a lot, but I'm sure there is something in your life which is working. I want you to focus on that and bring that positive energy out and focus on it. Cherish it, experience it, as if it's happening right now. And be grateful for every day above ground is an awesome day. Thank yourself for that.
Thank you.
Take a deep breath. One more time. Open your eyes. How do you feel that?
Never felt better. I'm feeling so refreshed. How shall I say? I felt that there are so many things I can be thankful for, starting with the beating heart, because maybe not everyone is blessed for that. I mean, come to think of it, Shuvo. I mean, there are some people who can't breathe on their own. They need a machine for that as well.
Exactly.
I mean, as you very correctly said, so many, and all of a sudden, I felt a lack of stress. I actually feel refreshed.
Got it. Okay, great. So objective achieved. So just imagine if you do this, The other piece of it is think about some positive lights going through you, and another one is think about 3 things in the future, right?
What I want to achieve.
Achieve, yeah. So visualize that.
Correct.
So when you add those 3 together, not more than 10 minutes.
So for example, if someone is visualizing, okay, if someone is believing in becoming the #1 team in that industry,
yes,
talk with your team, just like how Shuvo did. It's a very simple thing. We just spoke, but talk and get them to see themselves as the #1 team, maybe the #1
Yes.
call center team, maybe
Yes.
the #1 sales team.
Yes.
But before you achieve it out there, you've got to see and believe it in here. That's what you're saying.
Exactly. And not only that, to the point, what are the clothes they are wearing? What time is in the clock?
Okay.
Visualize that as well. How does it smell like? Maybe there's a nice perfume in the
What
room.
music is there?
What is the music? So if you want to prime it more, do it in that way.
Understood. Sure, let's talk about building stronger personal relationships. Now, amidst all this work pressure and work challenges, etc., we always speak about, balancing work life, family life. I'm a strong believer that if you are having an issue at home, it's unrealistic to tell people when you come to work, leave it at the door and come and pick it up when you're going. Because we are talking about something in the mind. It will always carry it with us. But how do we really build strong personal relations and career relations? In other words, work-life balance. How do we really achieve it?
Yeah. So there is a formula called LC equal to BP. Right?
LC equals BP.
BP, yeah. So life's actual condition equals to blueprint of your life. Right? So what is the blueprint of your life? Now, when you want to make a house, what do? You get up, go to an architect, and then of course they give you a blueprint.
Correct.
And they said, okay, this is going to be the toilet, this is going to be the bedroom. They're going to position it the different ways, right? So then after 2 years, the architect, they come and say, Tarindu, house is complete, come and see how it is. Then you walk into the house and you see actually the room is not the way it was supposed to be.
Correct.
Would you be happy or sad?
I won't be happy.
See, so same formula in your life as well. So life's actual condition. I want you to think of your life, one area of your life which you are very happy. Do you have it?
Of course.
Why is that happy?
Because it's going according to the plan.
Right. So I can tell you,
Yeah.
but that will not serve the purpose, right?
Okay.
So that's so what did you say just now?
I said because it's going as planned.
Exactly. Now I want you to think about another area of your life which is not working, which is not actual equal to blueprint.
Okay.
Yeah, how do you feel?
Well, not so good. I feel low. It kind of reduces my energy level.
Right. So basically, so what happens is that as a human being, you always strive to bridge that gap. So as long as you take action, the word is action, very important.
Okay.
You can go to the world's best trainer, right? World's best guru or whatever you call it. Learn from him, but if you don't take action,
Correct.
it will not give you the result.
It's like reading a book about golf but not taking the swing.
Exactly. So coming back to your question, so when you have that balance in each area of your life, so there is no question whether you'll be able to perform, whether you need to keep the family problem with the family. No, it's not that, because in that way you're focusing all the areas of your life. So life without fulfillment is not successful.
Fulfillment.
Yes.
Okay.
So you have to create that fulfillment. So way to do the fulfillment is always ask yourself that question: am I achieving that goal or not? Because what we ask, because questions are the focus. Because the moment we ask a question, if you realize, the moment we get up, first thing we ask, how the day is going to be. If you look at it, we ask a lot of questions the whole day. So ask an empowering question, which will help you. Who has the choice? Who has the power?
Choice.
Exactly. So when you ask
Give me
that
an
question,
example for an empowering question. Let's say with regard to the family life that
Right.
someone needs to ask.
right.
What kind of questions are empowering questions?
Empowering questions: am I giving time to my family or not? Am I giving time to my team or not? How can I allocate time for both of them? Now, some of the things, yeah, very easy to say and very difficult to do. It is possible. It comes back to your belief system again. So when you believe that it is possible, then you will find a way. Give you an example. Roger Bannister. You heard about Roger Bannister. So he did he did 4 minutes a mile. Like he ran for 4 minutes under a mile.
Okay.
So initially, everybody said it's not possible. A lot of people
You
said.
mean this is the 1 mile barrier?
Yes, yes. So everybody said it's not possible.
You can't run within 4 minutes.
Yes, within 4 minutes. But he did it. He did it, and so initially people said no, it's not possible. But he did it. The year he did it, the following year, another 15 people achieved that. The same thing. So when you believe within yourself with the proper management of your state, when I say proper, like do your priming or put yourself in that positive state.
The attitude of gratitude.
Yes, attitude of gratitude. When you do that, it will definitely put you in a mindset which will have an impact, which will help you to bridge that gap between your actual life and your blueprint.
Understood.
And then life would be balanced.
Shuvo, you mentioned earlier about one author that you refer a lot to, Tony Robbins. I believe
Yes.
he's easily the world's #1 motivational speaker,
Yes.
motivational guru, coach, many things you can call him.
Yes,
Now, what are the lessons that you have actually learned from him that you would like to share? Let's say 3 lessons you have learned from him that you would like to share in 3 minutes with the audience today.
Okay. So I actually shared all my lessons over here. I practice it in and out. So the state, story, and strategy, I learned it from him and I practice it. And so that has helped me to build not only my my work life, my personal life as well. It has helped me a lot. Another one is the triad, the physiology, focus, and language. So which I firmly believe in. I practice it in and out. Not only me, my team practices it. My at home we practice it as well.
Exactly.
And the rituals I
I
shared
think what
with
you
the
mentioned, it's important that especially if there are young students at home, to get them also involved, because sometimes their emotional well-being also might be neglected.
Oh yeah. Most of the time, especially at this current situation, online schools,
Yes.
online,
They're
especially the
stuck at
schools.
home.
Online, now, some students are slow learner. Some students are fast learner. The slow learner, how they are coping up with the online school, we actually don't know. So the numbers are actually increasing when it comes to stress level, right? So it is very vital to find out emotionally where we live. This called something called emotional home. If you look at last 1 week, emotionally, how many times you were stressed, how many times I was worried, how many times I was upset, angry. Ask yourself those questions and write it down. Then when you write it, it becomes very clear that, okay, these are the times, so then I have a choice not to be like that.
So even if we have a problem with someone, if someone is creating an issue, to be angry or not is a choice.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Oh my God, definitely.
And if we are in a strong positive energy state,
yes,
we can always control the situation.
Yeah, it is. But then again, it's easier said than done. People say that.
It takes practice, isn't
Oh
it?
yeah. You have to, and practice is the I mean, what you practice in private, you get praised for in person, right? That's how it works, right?
Understood.
So practice will definitely give you that edge compared to others. So we do practice. We go to gym and physically we are doing it, but mentally, how positive we are and how in a positive state we are and what energy we are bringing in, it's very important.
As an entrepreneur, or maybe as an executive, a manager, a business leader, a team leader, you need to make sure that you maintain a very strong level of energy with you, so that that will trickle down to your team, and the team will pick up on that. They'll model you and they will go for their goals, their targets that will bring out the best in them and also in the team. And we learn so many tips, tricks, tactics that helps us to do just that. And Shuvo, my favorite was the attitude of gratitude. I think I'm going to be practicing that on a daily basis from now on. Thank you so much for your time, for sharing your thoughts, your knowledge, your insights with us, and we wish you good luck. All the best to you.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
And with that, we wrap up today's episode of Bisnomics. And the upcoming week, not only may it be a profitable one, but may it also be an emotionally excellent one for you as well. I'll see you with the next episode.